What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of A Blankets Conversation. It's Olivia Joy here. Before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join the family and ring the notification bell so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Let's get into the juiciness of this conversation. And yeah, I'm funny. Okay, let's hop right on into it. All right, my voice might go a little in and out during this episode, but go anyway. I was watching this piece of a sermon by Sarah Jakes Roberts, and she was talking about how when God calls you, there's going to be times that you don't necessarily feel like doing something. There's going to be times that it feels hard. You want to give up, but you have to get up and you have to go anyway. There's been days where I've had to get up, I've had to get out of bed, and I've had to go anyway because it's what God called me to do. I mean, if it was up to me, I probably would have laid in bed that day. I have to be obedient and I have to live in that obedience. Like anything worth doing, it's not necessarily the easiest thing ever to do. Faith has really allowed me to just trust in the things that I cannot see. Having faith in something that you already see is easy. And it's easy to be hopeful for something that's right in front of you. Something that's not right in front of you is hard to sit and to trust and to have faith and to believe in the uncertainty, have faith in the uncertainty. That is something that is not the easiest thing to do, but that requires faith. You can look at something and believe that it's there because it's right in front of your face. But if you don't see it, that's something that's really testing your faith. I'm worthy, I'm enough, I'm deserving of this because God said that I'm deserving of this. Not because I think that I am, but because God said that I am. And remembering that just kind of helps me to move throughout those uncertainties. That again goes along with having faith. I think in order to continue to build and have a strong relationship with God, you have to trust in Him and in His word. And you have to seek Him in His word. You can talk to God, but you have to allow God to talk to you. My dad told me that once. So real quick, because I don't want to make it seem like any of this is easy, because it's not easy. It's definitely not the easiest thing to do. It takes practice, it takes resilience. There are times when I don't feel like searching for myself. I don't feel like going through or enduring and figuring out the growth and figuring out the lesson in a certain situation that I'm going through. There are times where I don't feel like doing that, but I go anyway. I have to because if not, I'm settling and I'm not allowing myself to become the best version of me. And that's why healing and acceptance and everything that I was talking about in my first episode is not the easiest thing to do because it requires work. It requires you to sit with yourself. At the end of the day, you don't have to deal with anyone else, but you have to deal with yourself. I've been learning to just allow myself to feel, allow myself to go through the motions of my feelings without sitting in them for too long. Just remembering that there's a lesson within everything. There's always something to learn. There's always something that God is trying to show me. There's been times where I've sat and I've thought, like, why am I going through this? Why do I feel like this in this moment? Why? It's so easy for me to jump ahead and to just try to rush it that want to be better now. God is like, you need to heal. You need to acknowledge. You need to build your relationship with me. You need to do all of this before I can move you to the next season of your life. Because if not, I'm leading you astray and God's not going to lead me astray. That takes patience. Social media and the internet, a lot of times we see the highs of people's life. We see
the amazing things that people are doing.
We don't necessarily see the process, which gives us this urge for instant gratification. If you're living with God and you're living through your purpose, you have to allow Him to work. You have to also do the work. That takes patience. Gotta be patient. It's okay to trust and believe in yourself and your capabilities and let that carry you and let that move you throughout your life. Excuse me. If there's anything that you take from this video, remember what Sarah Jakes Roberts said, to go anyway. Throughout many times in my life, I've had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Let me explain what I mean by that. In order to step out of your comfort zone, you have to get uncomfortable. I'm not saying to put yourself in a scenario or a situation that brings you discomfort in the way that is harmful to you and your well-being. What I mean by that is if it is going to grow you, it is going to be uncomfortable.
Growth is uncomfortable.
Growth is like a tree. You stay grounded in yourself. You stay whole, which is the, what do you call that? The stump, the I feel like a stump is like when it's cut off. I cannot think of the word, whatever, this part of the tree. You and all the different layers to you and all the different things that you have to offer this world are the branches. And you go out and you do these amazing things. And not to mention, you have leaves on you, but in a certain season, your leaves start to fall off. Getting rid of all of the things that can no longer serve you in a certain point of your life. It's ridding itself of all of the things that are not supposed to be there anymore. And then what happens next? In another season, you start to sprout new leaves. You're moving and you're growing and they look all green. Next thing you know, you're blowing this way. You're blowing this way and you're going everywhere and you meet other trees. If the wind blows you this way, it's because God is trying to take you out of your comfort zone and push you to somewhere where he needs you to be. You may be a standalone tree. Let me stop doing that. Bring your mind back. You may be a standalone tree for a while, but eventually, somewhere along the way, you'll meet other trees. That is completely okay because we're supposed to grow. We're supposed to learn. We're supposed to get outside of ourselves. But in order to do that, we have to be uncomfortable. Jeez. Once you start stepping outside of your comfort zone, it becomes easier to do it. It becomes like second nature. Sometimes God brings us back to the place that we are most fearful of so that we can learn to rely on him and trust in him and to conquer that fear. I wouldn't be sitting right here making this video today without having experienced what I've experienced over the past few months. If I didn't embrace it, I had to embrace it. I had to take hold of it. I had to love it and appreciate that part because that dark place is a part of my journey. It's possible to come up out of that dark place. And sometimes your mind may resort back to that dark place and it's okay, but you can't sit there. Don't stay there. Your negative thoughts cannot stay long enough to penetrate your heart. I really hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that you have an amazing day, whatever day this is that you're watching this. Continue to have grace, not just with other people, but with yourself because you're growing. You're learning. Sometimes you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you're going to come across harder times, but have grace and trust and have faith that everything is going to be okay because it will. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of A Blankets Conversation. I love you guys so much and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.